Hello, international students from around the world. Welcome to another lesson. This time I'm going to explain to you guys how your IELTS Band Score is calculated, and then we're going to talk a little bit about how your writing and speaking score is calculated. It's pretty straightforward to know how your average score is calculated. So you have listening, reading, writing, and speaking. The total of the four scores divided by 4 gives you this number here. However, you cannot get a 6.25 in IELTS or 6.75. So what happens to the 25? Usually it's rounded to the next half. So your total score or band score will be 6.5. If you had a 6.75, then your score is going to be rounded to the next whole band. So if you get a 6.5 in listening, 6.5 in reading, 5 in writing, and 7 in speaking, you're going to get a 6.5 band score. For listening and academic reading, and even general training, things are easy to calculate because there are 40 questions in the listening and 40 questions in the reading, and each question is worth 1 mark. Each question is worth 1 mark. However, the total or the raw score out of 40 is usually converted to a band score. For example, if you get a 30 out of 40 in the reading section or academic reading section, then your band score is going to be a 7. So in order to score a 7, you can only make 10 mistakes. And same with listening. For the writing and speaking sections, there is a certain criteria. For example, in the writing section, you have task achievement for task 1, task response for task 2 in the writing section, and the examiner will also look at things like coherence and cohesion, lexical resources, grammatical range, and accuracy. Task achievement for task 1 means that you actually achieved or responded to the task effectively. Meaning you answered the questions, and in this case, an example is that you reported the most important information or all the important information. You talked about all the main trends, and you, of course, in the introduction you summarized the chart, and you reported that for this example, fish and meat consumption between 1979 and 2004, you reported in the introduction that the consumption rates for chicken and beef were higher than lamb and fish over the 25-year period from 1979 to 2004. So basically, if you want to get a 9 on this, on the first category, you have to complete the task. You have to report on all the important information in the diagram or chart that you have. For task 2, right, what you need to do, or your score is based on the task response. So basically, when you have a question similar to this example, in the future machines will replace teachers in education. To what extent do you agree or disagree? So you have to respond to this question. To what extent do you agree or disagree? And responding to this question, meaning including an introductory paragraph with your answer to this question at the end, and then giving reasons and evidence for your thesis statement or your main idea. Coherence and cohesion means that your topic sentences in each of the body paragraphs are strongly connected and strongly supporting the main idea or the thesis statement that you have at the end of the introductory paragraph. It also means that each of the body paragraphs focusing only on one idea. You're not going to include 2 reasons in one paragraph. So this paragraph is going to focus on the first reason, for example here, teachers encourage and inspire students, and then another advantage that teachers have over robots, that teachers are necessary to discipline students. So I'm going to focus on, in this paragraph, I'm going to focus on how teachers encourage and inspire students, and this paragraph, how teachers discipline students. I'm not going to talk about anything else that is a main reason. So I'm going to focus on one main reason and then support that. What also helps for coherence and cohesion is to include transitional phrases or transitional words at the beginning of the paragraphs. For example, here we have to begin with another advantage, in conclusion. All these can help with coherence and cohesion. Lexical resources means you use academic words and you use a variety of words. You try to avoid repetition in your words, and that's really important. For example, instead of saying replace teachers, if you said that here, or if you said teachers will have no role, then another time you're not going to say the same thing, but you can say something with the same meaning. For example, I don't think the teachers in the classroom will completely be diminished, or the role of teachers will completely be diminished. So you try to use a different word to mean the same thing, or a different phrase, different sentence to mean the same thing, and try to avoid repeating the same or using the same word in more than one occasion. Grammatical range and accuracy. If you go back to my lesson on sentence types, you'll get a better idea on how you can diversify your use of grammar in each paragraph. For example, here by using a complex sentence. Even though we cannot deny the significant role that technology plays in education, I somewhat disagree that the role of teachers in the classroom will completely be diminished, because teachers provide, this is actually a compound complex sentence. And then you can also use simple sentences, right? The use of technology in education has indeed been on the rise in recent years. So diversify your sentence types in terms of grammar. In speaking section, the examiner is going to look at fluency and coherence, lexical resources, grammatical range and accuracy, as well as pronunciation. Those two are pretty similar to the ones here, but fluency here and pronunciation are two new things that examiners look at in the speaking section. You have to be fluent, which means you stop naturally. You don't stop for too long. You don't pause for too long. Your pauses are going to be natural. We all pause. So when you pause for too long, it can give the impression that you're unable to formulate the ideas in your mind. Lexical resources also means that you have to diversify your word usage. Similar with grammatical range and accuracy, if we look at this example here, to use different grammar tenses in your sentences. For example, why did you decide to take the IELTS test? If you have this question, I decided to take the IELTS test because I'd like to get a full admission from an American or Canadian university. So here we use the simple past. We also use the infinitive. I am currently applying. Now we switch to a different grammar type. Currently applying. So we switch to the progressive here. And then another example, do you watch sports? I love watching soccer, but I am now focused on my studies and don't have much time. I used to watch and play soccer almost every day. So we use the present here, and we use the used to for past to express past events. So basically in every sentence try to use more than one grammar type. Pronunciation means that you don't have to speak with like an American accent or a British accent, but your pronunciation should be clear, and the examiner can easily understand you or understand your ideas and the words that you're trying to pronounce. So for each one, you'll get a band score of 9, and then the total or the average is going to be your band score for the writing. And the same for speaking, 9 for each one, and the average is going to be your band score out of 9. So guys, thank you so much for watching. As always, please share, like, and subscribe. You can follow me on Snap and Twitter, Imad's IELTS, and I'll definitely see you in the next lesson. Thank you.